what's going on, everyone?
It's been a long time.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Say I'm Mike.
I'm Mike.
We didn't rehearse.
I'm sorry, we're kind of being silly right now. We were back in the Fracture Compass studio, set up with basically new procedures with this whole COVID-19 thing. So I'm way over here. Mike is way over there on the other side with his own camera.
So far.
I know.
So far. Yeah, you guys are like, what, 13 feet apart?
Yeah, we're about 13, 15 feet apart, and we're so happy to be back in the studio, and we're so happy that we figured this out. And we've been trying to keep the channel going with as much content as possible. Mike's been going out with his channel, putting up as much content as possible. It's just been crazy, but you know, 5 months later, we've kind of figured it out, right?
It's been a while. It's been a while, but it's good to be back. It feels like old times, you know?
Oh, it really does. And the fact that Mike put out an HHN video and was talking about his feelings, and I was like, you know what? We need to figure this out.
Yeah.
We need to get back together, because I can't talk without him.
Well, and I think the thing too about me doing my own channel, it's not like I am not involved with Fracture Compass. I think you were doing your own thing. Jackie was working at Knott Scary Farm, and then I kind of realized like, okay, well maybe I should do my own thing, but this channel, Fracture Compass, is what brings us all together. Right. It's like the Avengers channel of this dynamic.
It's the hub, and then everything kind of just spokes off from that. But Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with us and for supporting us in our documentary series that we did. Even though Mike wasn't physically involved with that, he very much was involved kind of on the outside. And we have something new to bring to you guys, and we basically took those funny moments and kind of condensed them, and we've been talking to a bunch of scare actors throughout the entire community, not just Knott's, but we're going to be hitting up Dark Harbor, we're going to be hitting up people from all across the scope, and just having them tell us some funny stories during these weird times, because I think we need some positivity and some uplifting words.
After, you know, the sad reality of maybe Halloween events might not be happening this year, so it's good to like have some sort of comedy in there, you know, make sure that Halloween spirit is still alive within us all. It doesn't have to be canceled.
It's true, and Halloween, as we are a firm believer, can never be canceled because it lives in all of us, and we do have some messages to put out to you guys when you start watching our Moments Behind the Fog series.
And I just watched one, by the way. It was really funny. I liked it. So good job, Bree.
We always tell people that there's the show that the guest sees, and then there's the show that's actually happening. And the show that's actually happening is usually really funny.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that like we have to like run backstage and laugh about. So these are going to be some of those moments.
So, yeah. So, wow. Let's get into it, because a lot has happened, and I've been wanting to just talk to you about what's been going on in the community with certain people doing announcements and certain people not doing announcements, and kind of, we're not speculating here because we're not going to be speculating at Fracture Compass at all. We're just kind of waiting like you guys, just to see what the companies actually say. But I think that there's just, you know, there's a feeling of who can maybe possibly do stuff and who can't. But again, until, you know, the ticket sales go on, until the ticket goes on sale, we don't know.
I think people are, if I can interject a little bit for both of you, I think people are really trying to make things work as safe as possible, but we all know that the public is the true wild card factor.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and I even said that in my Halloween Horror Nights video, was that, you know, we can have as much policies and procedures and protocols in place, but what really comes down to it is if the public is going to follow it, you know, and I think the public is definitely the most unreliable part. So yeah, that's the challenge.
And you know, I would not blame someone if they decided to put on an event and the public got out of hand to just shut it back down. And I wouldn't blame them one bit, to be like, you guys couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
You couldn't do what we asked you to do, so this is the consequence, because I think a lot of people need to learn that there's consequences now to your actions.
You saw it first. I saw it yesterday. There were so many people not wearing masks, so many people not socially distancing, and like not even like families. There's just like a crowds of people, and so we definitely have to be careful.
So if we can talk about a hypothetical theory here for a second. We all did Rise of the Resistance on opening day, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all saw the demand and the insanity that followed when we got, what would we be at boarding pass 27?
Yeah.
Do you think, in our perfect hypothetical situation that I want to talk about right now, that something like that could work at an event?
Absolutely, it could. It's just, again, your demand is so high that the competition is going to be unreal.
That'd be so stressful.
But the thing is for those people who were serious and got on there when they said they were going to drop tickets and went through and purchased, they would have probably a better experience having less people in an environment.
Mm-hmm.
You're not having to wait in a line so much because there's not that many people there. You're able to have some space. We've all gone to horror nights and we've all gone to haunted hayride and we've all gone, especially horror nights, you are just packed up in there, and there's a lot of people. They basically sell to park capacity.
Yeah.
And then some because you got the back lot open.
Yeah, and then some. So it's like we've all been scrunched up in that crowd, and that simply cannot be this year for the safety and well-being of everyone.
It's not going to be.
No, and it's not. But I think that's a contributing factor, because what I've been thinking is that Disney canceling Oogie Boogie, Universal canceling Horror Nights, they spend so much money on their events that there is no way that they could make up for the amount of money they spend on their events with ticket sales and limiting that many people come in. They literally, I feel like Universal could be like, 5,000 people? 10,000? Is that going to make up? Or would they have to drive up the ticket price so high that it would be $200 just for a general ticket?
And let's look at like Halloween Horror Nights specifically in Hollywood, was that they were already building mazes. There was 4 mazes that were constructed, I believe. Maybe it was 3, but I know for sure 2 in the Metro set and then 1 in the Waterworld queue. So they already spent that money on the design team, on the construction, and then they took it down. So it's like, it makes you think, how much money did they already put towards this year's event, and then there's going to be no revenue. And then also, whatever was planned on being announced as mazes this year, is that going to carry over to next year?
That's something that I actually wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
So Horror Nights, we all know, is not happening here on either coast. So there's no like, I'm just going to go to Orlando. They're not doing it in Orlando.
And that was shocking too. We genuinely thought Orlando was going to be happening.
What do you think? Let's say, and this is my terrible hypothetical question. Let's say nothing. No events are able to take place this year. Let's just say. What do you guys think 2021 is going to look like?
Well, I've been reading a lot of comments about that, and there's been some people on the spectrum of like, okay, next year they're going to go super hard. They're going to make the mazes as crazy as possible. It's going to be big. It's going to be, bold. And then you see other people saying, well, look, Universal just laid off a bunch of people. Their revenue has been cut below half. So they're probably not going to have the money to spend on this huge event. They're going to make it just, okay, this is Halloween Horror Nights. It's, this amount of mazes is going to be like run of the mill. And I feel like, I don't think they're going to not deliver next year at Halloween Horror Nights, but I don't think it's going to be this huge, explosive event that everyone's making it seem to be. Because let's think about it. Universal is still a business that's been losing a lot of money. You don't lay people off unless you need to have that insurance policy of, we need to save the company, right? So I have high expectations, but they're not unrealistic expectations, if that makes sense.
So maybe not the event itself then, but what about the talent that runs it? Because now you've got pent up.
Oh, I think that in terms of that, and that's not just even, hi Hopi, that's not even just Halloween Horror Nights. I think a talent across the board, not Scary Farm, haunted hayride anywhere next year, if it does happen this year, which I hope it does, it's going to be, they're going to just give it their all. Not that they don't every year, but I think it's going to be like, we need to make up for lost time, for sure.
And I do agree.
Y'all gonna die.
Y'all gonna die real quick.
I do agree with the pent-up aggression of the talent. And I know, you know, being a scare actor, all I want to do is get out there. All I want to do is get my, you know, give it my all, give it my audition, do things. But, I mean, let me play devil's advocate. We're in August. We're not through this.
Yeah, sure.
So, are we going to be able to have an event next year that is still going to be a limited capacity?
It's a possibility.
Because we can't have a spike. You know, we can't just be like, oh, it's all like, let's throw 80,000 people together in a crowd and figure, you know, and think that nobody's gonna catch anything. And I think for a while that we're just, our lives are going to go on, but they're gonna go on with COVID, and we're gonna have to just live with it.
We're all adapting to a situation that none of us have ever had to deal with.
So, and that's a good point, is because I think a lot of people are assuming because we had to sacrifice Halloween this year means that next year's Halloween is not going to be sacrificed. And this very well, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to put that evil in the air.
I don't either.
Maybe I shouldn't even say it, actually.
Let's not put it on the universe. I'm just saying,
there's other things we need to focus on.
the Halloween parties will probably happen next year. It's just probably still going to be different.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not going to be throwing all 80,000 of us together and we're just going to be like, you know. Like,
I don't know about you, but I'm going to be doing that.
I know.
We just need to find a balance.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We need to find a balance, and I think 2021 Halloween, you know, Halloween events. I'm not going to say Halloween. Halloween's always going to happen. Halloween events will come back into play. It'll just be still a little different. We're going to be edging 2022. I'm thinking the party going to go off. Let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about what we know right now.
Yeah.
Halloween Horror Nights.
And we both know.
Cancel.
And we kind of figured, we were watching a lot of construction updates. At least I was watching a lot of construction updates. Like I said, again, we saw those mazes coming up, and it honestly shocked me seeing that there was construction for Halloween Horror Nights even happening. So that puts us, that we know that they were thinking about having this park open. And then we saw it get taken down, and that was kind of like where we already knew, Halloween Horror Nights is not going to be happening. But the biggest shock was that Orlando's event was not happening.
Well, I think, and I read on the statement that they put out is that they really, really needed to concentrate on what they were doing for day guests, and just their regular operation. And I believe that's a smart move on their part.
We did get a glimpse of what Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights was going to be like, because the tribute store opened last week. And we saw inside the tribute store, it was the 30th anniversary, so we had all the icons. We had Jack, we had the usher, we had the storyteller, the director. They were all making an appearance. And then half the store was also, it looked like classic Universal monsters. It looked like they had Frankenstein, it looked like Frankenstein's laboratory. And so I think they were really going to do like just throwbacks and just relive those awesome moments, which I would have been so down for. But I would have been down for anything. Halloween Horror Nights could have been like, it's about unicorns this year. I'd have been like, yes, brilliant.
I mean, we all love the unicorn show from Cabin in the Woods, right?
Unicorn Kill.
Yeah, that was the best one, by the way.
What else do we know? Oogie Boogie, Disneyland, canceled. And over here in California, you know, Universal, again, was putting up their mazes and everything, and I think that they have to prepare ahead of time because they didn't want to get caught with their pants down and be like, okay, do it. But, you know.
And Dark Harbor.
We'll definitely see if it comes back.
Yeah.
You know, next year.
Because you guys, didn't you say that Dark Horizon was one of the most fun haunts that you guys have been to?
Dark Horizon was that dark horse event that I just thought, like, hey, let's do this, let's go, because we said we were going to do it, let's do it. And presently, surprisingly, Like,
What?
it's hard to word. Very surprisingly, well done event.
I think maybe it was the lack of people that were there, because like honestly, we had so much time with each scare actor, so much time in the mazes. There was basically no one ahead of us or behind us in any of those mazes.
Mike, we were in the future.
Wait, what do you mean? I'm like trying to process what that means. What?
If the events this year that they hold don't have that many people, we were basically
That's true.
experiencing what a Halloween event could be without droves and droves of people.
That's true.
And it was the most amazing experience that we've ever had. We were in mazes for 5 minutes interacting with characters.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane.
There's that one guy that like would not let me pass.
Yeah.
And it was the pirate one. And he literally was just like, take off your pants. And I went, no, like I don't want to take off my pants.
I had to give him a button.
Yeah.
So I gave him 2 buttons to get past him. I did that of my own accord, of course. He didn't force me to like give him anything. I don't want to say that.
He didn't force me to take off my pants.
No.
Okay, it was just like
It was just play acting.
lightly suggested.
Yeah, like, but but I just was like, if you let me pass, I'll give you something off my vest. And I gave him a button, and I never got him back, and it's fine.
We never would have had those experiences
Nope.
if it was just crowded, you know?
We would have been conga lined and just kind of like gone through. I helped one of the pirates, like, you know, stab a guy. And there was just all these like really personable moments that we got to have that were incredible. And I really feel because it was built by West Coast people, it had that West Coast style that we're both used to in an East Coast setting. And absolutely phenomenal event.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Whether,
and
you
they
know,
went hard on their mazes for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I loved every second of that, but yeah, I mean, thinking about it, like, that's the kind of experience, unforgettable experience, that you're gonna get without droves and droves of people there. I remember last year, Haunted Hayride, we wanted to do the escape room, but it was like a 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
It was insane, and I feel like with less people, you would get that better experience and be able to do everything with a normal ticket, you know?
I definitely agree. It sometimes robs, and I get it, you know, these are events, they're money makers. You gotta make the money, you gotta sell tickets and get people in there, but it sometimes robs the event of its spookiness, I think, when you're just stepping over people and you rarely get scares. Because let's be real, you know, I think a lot of scare actors profile people and go after the people that they think are going to get scared, and I think a lot of the time they look at you and me and they're like, no, we're not going to go after them. But at Dark Horizon, there was really no other choice. It was like, I can go after Bree and Mike, or after that tree over there. Because that's all. Yeah. So we you know, got a bunch of those really intimate moments, and I think that's why it stuck out to us, is because scare actors usually don't come for us unless you remember that one time when we asked people like, hey, come after, like, make us scream, and some of them were able to do it. I think that's a good like segue into this topic, which is, what are our plans for Halloween content this year? Now that we kind of have a feeling that these big events aren't going to happen, let's talk about it, because I'm sure you guys want to know.
Hold on. Before we get to that, I have an even better segue. Do we all remember our 2020 bucket list?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah, we do. That didn't happen.
Oh, that didn't happen. Record scratch.
I mean, it's something that we have to laugh about because, you know, we, at the beginning of the year, we're like, we're gonna fucking do all this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, our plan was to go so hard.
We were going hard. We were sky's the limit, and we started off really well. And then something happened. I don't know.
But, you know, I think that's like a good, I don't know what I'm even trying to say right now. Also, this chair is really squeaky. I think we can still find creative ways to give you guys Halloween content. It's going to be a little harder. It's not going to be just like spoon-fed to us like it usually is, and I think that's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun challenge, finding things for you guys to look forward to and maybe find some little tiny home haunts. I don't know, let's just talk about it. Like, what do you want to see on this channel come? I mean, I guess starting now, because August is when we really start pumping out Halloween stuff.
I think that there's things that we can find around that are kind of on the spooky level. Like, you've been going on ghost tours. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to probably join you with those couple. So just let me know, like, when you're doing another one. But then that's something that we can do where it's out in the air, it's social distance, because of course, like, our safety and our health are like a major priority.
Yeah, we want to also, like, I think, set a good example. Yeah, and be, you know.
But something that we were talking about is that, you know, if we're not sure the future of other events, and we're waiting like everybody else to see what's going on. But if we're not doing anything, we want to set up like almost like a caravan and basically be in our own cars and maybe map out all these home haunts or home displays too that are going on, and make a drive and go out and see these places, because now's the time. I mean, now's the time to do things that, you know, you've never done, that just try to get creative with the Halloween spirit. Make a yard display of your own. In fact,
we better be seeing some badass yard displays this year, guys.
Because if the haunters aren't haunting, then they better be getting spooky somehow. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely. That's a good point. Like, I really do want to go and look at all the different, like, maybe not even home haunts. I do hope that there are home haunts, but, like, I want to see displays.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the home haunters who are like, we're not going to put people in thing, are doing massive displays now.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I mean, we live in the land of milk and honey. We have to be able to find something, you know? But not just that, like, I think there are a lot of, like, areas that are, like, reportedly haunted. You know, we have specific buildings, specific areas in LA, you know, that we can, like, visit and be like, let's read about the history of this. Let's learn the lore. Black Star Canyon comes to mind too, which that makes me a little freaked out. They even have a ghost tour on that.
We've hiked Black Star Canyon.
I've never hiked Black Star Canyon before.
We have.
Twice.
And remember I had told you I'll just be there during the daytime.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for it.
Well, you know, like, we can explore, even if it doesn't have pumpkins on the facade, it doesn't mean it's not going to be Halloween.
Right. And you see, this is when we were talking to someone that we were doing an interview for the Scare Actor Stories for a new series that we're doing, is this, whether certain things happen or not, this might be the year to do the things that you just normally either, one, don't have time because you're doing 8 weeks of haunt, just that you don't normally get to do. When was the last time that we really, like, got to carve pumpkins?
Yeah, that was something that I was thinking about. Is like,
when was the last time that we've really put a lot of time into, like, making a yard display? It's been a couple years. You know, I think the last time that you and I carved pumpkins was our wedding. And that'll be 5 years this year. So I want to carve a goddamn pumpkin.
I'm trash at carving pumpkins. But
you know who's not trash at carving pumpkins?
Mike. I know, Mike is amazing at carving pumpkins.
Mike can crank out a pumpkin.
I don't think I'm as good as you guys are making me seem here.
Hold on, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because we all lived together long ago. We're like, we're gonna carve pumpkins. Honey, I don't even remember what you did. I did some, like, classic
trash. That's why.
No offense, I don't remember what you did. I did some classic, like, normal pumpkin, and this fool over here did a straight up Oogie Boogie in the Moon before we even got our templates done.
Yeah, he's all like,
do you guys like it? And I'm like, fuck you.
I should have just
said perfect.
Oogie Boogie's not that hard.
I might have a picture. I'm gonna look right now.
We're on the third story. I should have just thrown my pumpkin over the side.
No, stop. Now the pressure's on, but no, I that's a good one. We should carve pumpkins and do, like, a Fracture Compass carving pumpkin party.
And the viewers can send us their pumpkin carvings on Instagram, and we can show the world how talented or not talented some of our friends are.
Yeah.
I don't care how ugly they look. It's a pumpkin. Carve it.
Yeah.
We had 4-year-olds carving our pumpkins at our wedding. Trust me, we've seen a lot.
And there's like, I think this would be a really good time for like trying DIY crafts and making like awesome, you know, Halloween wreaths. Maybe making like a really cool archway that goes into your door. There was a picture I saw on the internet where someone actually got a bunch of different pumpkins and put lights in them and made like a doorway of, but that would be expensive. I don't know.
I have made a like pumpkin.
No joke, guys. I mean, we had a drunk pumpkin at our wedding. I'm still looking for the picture, but...
Oh.
Oh, God. But I mean, yeah, when was the last time that people that were haunts really got to carve a pumpkin? Like, with their families?
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, legit sit around and watch a scary movie during the haunt season. Because I know when you and I are doing haunt, and even you, because you're going to all these places, you don't have time to breathe sometimes.
We're asleep. When we're not running 60 miles an hour, we're asleep.
We went so hard on Halloween last year. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me, but we went so hard last year that we did the day after Halloween, we flew out of California and we just relaxed, went on vacation at Disney World, which I guess, I mean, again.
And then we still
I found them.
Went to Dark Horizon that day, like 3 hours after we landed the plane.
Yeah.
And then we went to Horror Nights the next night, and we were exhausted.
So I remember we were at Halloween Horror Nights, I think November 2nd it was, and we literally, I remember Arl saying this too, we literally were, like, we didn't want to do the last maze. I think we did, like, all 9 mazes, and there was one last maze, and we were all looking at each other like, let's go home. But we pushed through it, and I think it was the Us maze.
Well, I was like, we don't need to go through Us, it's stupid. And you're like, Bray, yes we do, so we can get this done and go to bed.
It wasn't even like, yeah.
And you were wearing flip-flops, and you're just like, my feet hurt so.
That was my fault, but it was Orlando. It was so hot.
I know.
Even in November, it was hot.
Oh my God.
Can we also talk about, because this is something her and I, we were watching one of our old videos, and we're like, oh, like nostalgia, even though it's like less than like 8 months ago, whatever, is how at the beginning of the night, you guys look pumped, you look super excited.
For what video?
I think it was Horror Nights. I think we were watching the Horror Nights video. You guys were like, fuck yeah, let's go do this. And then in the middle of the night, you guys are like, all right, yeah, we're having a good time. And then by the end of the night, you look clammy. You look sweaty.
Yep.
You look disgusting. You look tired. You look like you don't want anyone near you. But you're like, guys, we had such a good time. But you can see the look on your face is like, I don't want to be scared anymore.
That's how you know we've hustled, is when we're sweaty. Like, when you and I are both, like, by the end of the video, like, we're just shiny. That's how you know that we were hustling.
You can tell how hard we've been going. Like, my hair starts up here, and then by the end of it, it's just down. Yeah, it just droops down.
That was so much fun, though. I'm gonna definitely miss those memories, for sure. But, you know...
It's something we still have... I mean, we can always look back on it and remember, you know, getting... evacuated kind of from Stranger Things in the beginning of the night because of the fire alarm. But I mean, those are the things that I think that we need to continue to look forward to.
Yeah. You know, this isn't forever. This is just right now.
Yeah.
You know? And we can do so many things. We gotta get creative and maybe we'll come out better for it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm not too concerned. You know, I'm sure we'll always find something. And one other thing, you guys, that I've been really wanting to start, and we've been talking about this, I think, for like 2 years now at this point, is doing a Bree Hates Horror segment. Because, yes, she loves Halloween, Jackie loves Halloween, but they do not like horror films at all. And I'm the horror junkie. You do not say.
I'm better than her.
You're better than her, but you guys both equally, I think, are like pretty like...
Okay. But she watched it with you, and I had a heart attack in the movie seat. I was like, I literally almost walked out. I thought I was gonna die.
I love that. She gets scared.
And do you remember when Mike was like, we're gonna go see it, and you're like, I really don't know. And not only, like, when we got there, we were, like, watching it in ultra fucking HD, and it was, like, the massive surround sound with the recliner seats, and it was just, like, if something happened, your seat vibrated, and, like, talk about, like, the worst way to, like, have her experience.
I know. We didn't break you in on that one.
I think I was sick.
You were sick, you just got into a really bad car accident.
It was
just a bad...
So it was just the pressure, everything, like my... Oh my god, I was gonna die, you guys.
And I'm over here like, oh, look at her. Well, okay.
Like, I need to go to sleep. I need to go to sleep, and somebody knocked me unconscious.
You handled it really well.
I looked it, didn't it? But on the inside, I was freaking out. I was like, and I literally was like this. And then I go like this.
Yeah. I didn't have chorophobia either. You're not afraid of clowns.
I'm not afraid of clowns. I'm not afraid of clowns. Let's just emphasize that. Just some of the things I was just kind of like, ugh, like.
Well, and this is the thing too. I think you've gotten much better with horror films because we've watched a couple. I kind of broke her in a little bit and started her off with the tamer ones. So we watched Insidious, and you were actually kind of like,
yeah, I was kind of bored with it.
Yeah, and then we watched The Conjuring, which that one I think is pretty good and intense. And you thought that one was freaky, but you weren't like. I wasn't
traumatized by it. I was like, wow, yeah, there was some moments.
It was a good scary movie.
Yeah.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a segment where we're gonna watch these movies. We're gonna get Bree's reactions on a lot of things, and then what we'll do is we'll kind of get her thoughts afterwards because I'm a movie lover, so you'll get my perspective of it, and then you'll get Bree's perspective, which is she'll rate it. She'll see. I'm just like the dumb person in scary movies. Like I'm the one that hates them. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have two other people. We're gonna have Jackie. We're gonna have one other person to be analyzing thing because like all these guys can analyze, and I'm just the one that's like. I think I want to get her started on The Shining because that's one of my all-time favorites, and there's so many horror movies that draw from that. I think that would be a good segue.
The Stanley Hotel too. Like, can I tell you how much I've seen in that movie?
Huh?
Like me personally.
How much?
Whatever was in Twister.
Which is the worst part, by the way. Okay.
Whatever they showed in Twister
the worst
the
part.
amount of The Shining.
But let me tell you, the best part of the Stanley Hotel, for me, I'm not saying that this place isn't amazing to go because we actually talked about staying there. We were like, okay, is it haunted? Is it haunted?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking that we would, when all this COVID's done, that we would all get together and we would go stay in the Stanley Hotel and like do a thing, right? So it's not like I'm hating on the Stanley Hotel. I'm not. We're coming for you as soon as all this crap's over. But
plus Estes Park, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most amazing view you could ever see of the mountains. It's just drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
Up there. It was absolutely by far the best view I've ever seen. But the best thing about that visit was the fact that they had strawberry Oreo ice cream. And we found out they did, and it was the most awesome ice cream I ever ate.
It was cookies and cream with strawberry. Oh my god, it was amazing.
Okay, but you can get that anywhere.
No, I've never seen it.
Just add strawberries to cookies and cream ice cream.
It was strawberry ice cream, but it was cookies and cream at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
I guess I just don't get it.
It was amazing. So we'll go back to the Stanley Hotel. Mike will be in heaven for the whole Shining thing, and I'm just going to be eating strawberry Oreo cookies and cream ice cream behind him as he's telling me everything.
I guess so. I guess so.
That's what's going to happen.
Well, we can also stay in like one of the haunted rooms. That would be a lot of fun.
I'm totally down. I don't care. Yeah. Like, we can do it. And I know they're like...
It's not like we haven't been on a ghost ship 10 miles down the road from here. You know?
But one of the most haunted places in the entire country,
world?
like United States. Not the world, because there's some like really bad places in like Scotland and things like that where ancient stuff took place.
I'm not talking about like battlefields and shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a single 2 football field sized ship that is conveniently located
10 minutes
away from us.
Yeah, 15 minutes on the game. But yes, so I'm not scared about going. I'll stay in the most haunted hotel room ever.
The ghosts are like, bring it, bitch.
Just don't make me watch the movie.
If blood actually gets off the elevator, I'll be like, dope.
Just don't make me watch it on a film. Because that makes sense.
That's how my mind works, okay?
I think that's great. You know what? So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna do a Bree Hates Horror segment. I have quite a few horror movies for Bree to watch.
You know what we were also looking at? The Clown Motel in Nevada.
Yeah.
Oh God, Jesus, that sounds awful.
You and Arl are staying in the Exorcist room?
And we're staying in the Friday the 13th room.
We could do the Saw escape room.
It's in Vegas.
I'm absolutely down to do escape rooms, and they are open at this moment. But, like
the basement I know is open for sure.
later.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think the basement's open. I think the biggest thing that both me and Bree wanted to let you guys know is to not worry. This channel's not going anywhere, and we will always try to give you Halloween content year-round. And I think, like, we're family, you know? So there's just no stopping, like, us hanging out, us being together. I'm not worried. And I don't think you guys should be either. Like, we should... Does that make sense?
Yeah. Halloween lives in our hearts. Halloween lives in your hearts. It's gonna go on. And like I said before, this isn't forever. This is for now.
Yeah. We'll figure something out. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why it took us this long to get to the point that we're at right now, where, you know, we're all sitting so many feet apart from each other, trying to make something work, because it's been almost 5 months since we've done this.
Yeah.
What was the last thing that we all did together? Was it March Madness?
It was
March
March
8th.
Madness, yeah.
March 8th was the last time that we were together.
Yeah, and I've been doing, I don't know if you guys know, but I've been doing my own thing and creating my own, like, Halloween stuff, but that doesn't mean that I'm not part of Fracture Compass, you know? I'm not trying to, like, steal content. I just think we have so much, Halloween is so broad, and there's so many different things that we can cover. It's not like, I don't know how to explain it in the right way. I think it's just, Fracture Compass is like,
It's the hub.
it really is, you know, and we have so many different, yeah, and we have so many different perspectives, and so we're always going to be a part of this channel. But it feels so good to be back. It really does.
It does.
And I'm just missed you.
I missed you too.
I'm
This
about
is
to let
really
the
like
dog
the
in.
first time I'm like really seeing you, and like 5 months is a long time for the amount of time that we spend together, like for like years and years, and all of a sudden just, and I'm like,
Well, it's not like we didn't text and stuff.
no, I know we text and talk, but it's just not the same, because like,
Do you remember, like, when it kind of first happened, and I was like, oh, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
They're best mine.
Because, like-
and that's when I FaceTimed you, and then you had like the little doodle jump and alien head on your FaceTime. I'm like, what happened here? And you're like, I do not know.
Where did the miscalculation happen, Mike?
I do not know.
What the fuck?
I lost it. It was only like 3 weeks into quarantine, and I already lost my mind.
I think I might have that video. I can stick it in there.
Yeah.
but
Fracture Compass. We're here to stay.
right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay safe, stay healthy.
Right?
Don't make any bad decisions.
Wear a mask. Just do what you
Yeah, just wear a mask.
do. Your part, people.
You do Halloween how you have to do it. Just do it in a very safe manner.
Here.
And hi, Ryan, it's me. Oh gosh. Thank you guys very much. Please subscribe and always be ready.
So you never know where your compass will take you.
Oh my gosh, mama. Oh my gosh, mama.
Righty.
I missed the bug. I missed the bug. Oh.